Do I love the property? Yes. Do I trust the property? Yes. Do I trust my numbers and our business plan on the property? Yes. When you trust the asset, you don't fear the debt. All right, so filming this on a Thursday, this coming Monday, we are closing on our 56 unit. And this is a big deal. Number one, I've been under contract on this since May. So is that May, June, July, August, September, 6 months. It's not supposed to take that long. There's been a lot of challenges with this and 56 units. So we're doing this without investors. This is solely my wife and I, our own capital, right? Our own management, our own operations. It's like my name only on the debt and on the paperwork. So wanted to share this with you, not to impress you, but to impress upon you the lessons we've learned from this, why I'm doing this deal, what I like about this deal, so you can go out, buy your own deal. It doesn't have to be 56 units. It could be 5 units. It could be 1 unit. Doesn't matter. Goal here is to teach you from our experiences so you can go out and do the same. But this will bring us to 131 units. Now, I am looking to potentially sell a 12 and a 16 unit because I want to keep trading up. I'm one to never really say I'm proud of what I've accomplished, but I'm kind of proud of this. And really, I'm proud of this because this is kind of like a deep story here. But long story short, I lost my mother to drug addiction. Right? So I lived with my father. We lived at like 10 Mile in Van Dyke, right? We were in bad money trouble, bankruptcy, almost lost a house, on food stamps, all that good stuff. My dad had a woman there and like the woman and I didn't really get along, just I was processing a lot of trauma and just whatever. I was maybe in my second to last year of college. I was 21 or 22. I was with Andrea at the time. I was like, I got to get the hell out of here. I'm in massive student loan debt. I have no credit. I have like nothing. I'm like personal training, but I'm personal training for cash. Like I got to get the hell out of here. And I went and I found an apartment building just south of this one. So like a mile south of the one I'm buying. And it was like $500 a month for a studio. I mean, it was literally like, didn't have a full fridge. I had like a mini fridge. The mattress like folded out of the freaking wall. You know what I mean? So it was like depressing. But I was like, whatever, this will be better than living in this environment that I didn't want to be in. They're like, you don't make enough money. You have no credit. They're like, you don't qualify for this. Dude, it was like the lowest of low feeling. This is literally a hole in the wall. I can't even go out and get this apartment right now. Like I can't leave this home environment that I'm in. I can't go get this apartment. I just remember being like really, I don't use the word depressed a lot, but I just remember being really down and depressed. But I used that moment to get positively aggravated and say, my future won't look like this. And I went out, graduated college, built a business, the rest is history. So we're not coming back to rent that old stinky freaking mattress out of the wall apartment. I'm buying the building above that, right? And I share this just quick story with you because no matter what you're going through right now, it doesn't matter where you come from. Like that's where I come from. And my wife and I are buying a 56 unit apartment building in our own name. You can accomplish anything you want if you're willing to put in the work, put in the effort, and choose the right attitude, choose the right outlook versus choose an excuse. So that's my quick story. This one's kind of personal. So anyways, let's get a little bit more upbeat. Why I love this deal. So this was off market. Okay. So this was off market. This will be my 8th apartment transaction. My biggest up until this point was 16 units. So we are, almost like quadrupling because there's more money in more units. A 16 unit versus a 56 unit, there's way more money in 56 units. That's 56 people paying you rent. In a 16 unit, if 8 people stop paying rent, you're distressed. You're 50% vacant. In a 56 unit, 8 people stop paying rent. It sucks, but you're still paying all your bills. So there's power in scale. There's power in growth. Nothing wrong with starting with the 16 unit or an 8 unit or a 2 unit. We've learned to trade up. I love the scale. It was off market. I met the broker on LinkedIn by posting content, talking about what I'm doing. Such a huge tip for you. If you're a real estate investor, even if you have 0 units, post on social media. Tell the world who you are and what you want to do. Because when you put it out there, you'd be surprised who starts to come in. So I would post like, hey, we bought a duplex. Hey, we bought this. I want apartments. I want bigger apartments. Our goal is to get into bigger apartments. And he reached out. He's like, hey, let's meet in my office here in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. And we met and he started sending me deals. It maybe took a year, but then he finally sent me this deal off market. And he's like, it's not really available, but if you put a good price in front of him, it will become available. And after some back and forth, that's how it happened. So we did a former episode about questions to ask a broker. Brokers are the lifeblood of your business and your network equals your net worth. So many people complain, dude. They're like, I'm not getting these types of deals. How do you get these deals? Where are these deals found? They're found in relationships. The more hands you shake, the more money you'll make. You have to put yourself out there. You have to tell the world who you are and what you want to do. But then you got to go out there and meet these people and communicate with these people and come with the giving hand. Every time I form a relationship with anybody, I say, what can I do for you? Come with the giving hand, right? My business coach says food, sex, and money. Relationships are built by breaking bread with people, making money together. And the third one you can figure out. We're not going to talk about that here though. So that's how I found the deal off market. Okay. So why I love this deal. Okay. Number one, it's size. It's not as big as I want to get. I definitely want to get to like 80 to 120 units, but it's much bigger than we've ever done. Number two, last sold in 19 1994. I was 4 years old. It means there's pride of ownership. It means they've made a lot of good money with it. It means they've taken care of it. And when we walked every single unit, which I highly recommend any property you buy that you do that. There was such pride in ownership, dude. It was so clean you could eat off the floors, but it's just very below market rent. And that's why I love it the most. There's no deferred maintenance. There's no issues. There's no like delinquencies. There's no crime. There's no like things where you're like, oh, this is going to be a big problem. There's just very below market rents. Now you're probably wondering, well, Tony, if they loved it so much and they took good care of it, why are there such below market rents? They've owned it for 30 years. Guess how much debt they have on the property? Zero. They own it in cash. So they paid off the debt a long time ago. They don't need to keep up with the market rents because they're just making money hand over fist based on their original investment. And by not keeping it at market rent, they don't deal with vacancy because they are one of the cheapest properties in the area. So they are constantly filled. They told us they literally get 30 to 50 calls a day. Which leads me to the other point that I love. So we know we can come in and improve the units, raise it to market rent. It would be very light value add. Like might have to put in some vinyl plank flooring, maybe paint the cabinets, fresh paint, simple stuff to where I get a huge return on my investment. It is on the side of a major freaking road. Why is that important? Because all day long, people drive by and look at the apartment. So my goal, which we'll talk about like what my business plan in a minute, we're going to do an exterior upgrade, an exterior facelift. So they're going to see, wow, this looks new, this looks fresh. But guys, you can't beat drive-by traffic. When you're investing in apartments, I've learned that apartments tucked away off like back roads or the ones that are hard to find, they're harder to fill. But when you get drive-by traffic, that's free marketing. And this is off of a major road here in Metro Detroit, Michigan. You just can't beat that. Location is everything. Remember, you can change paint, you can change carpet, but you can't change location. Those are some of the reasons why I love the deal. Okay, so this is a full transparency. It's a multi-million-dollar property. Okay, it's more than 4, it's less than 8 as well. Say we're doing a loan. Okay, so we're doing a 20% down payment, financing 80% of it. Now the question always comes up: hey, well, you said you and your wife are doing this alone. How are you guys doing this? Did you raise the down payment? People call me a cap. What's a cap mean again? It's like, well, I'm lying. Like, dude, come on. You think I'm? And again, the beautiful part about real estate, I can't lie about it. You can go Google it. You can go look up the property and whatever. Guys, I built a business first. Okay, and this is so important here. I invest into real estate as we own a business out of it. I did not quit my earned income business job career. My earned income comes from coaching, consulting, content, my brand, I guess you could say my brand, but right, my business. I take the profits from that business and I invest into real estate. Real estate, value add real estate, like what we buy, best case, first 1 to 2 years is a break even. Listen to what I said. Break even means we are pumping the money back. Every dollar it's producing, I'm putting the money right back into it to force the appreciation. I could not do that if I was trying to bleed the property and live off that property. So it's so important. If you want to model what my wife and I are doing, you need to build your earned income first. And if you're listening to this, like a lot of people are, you're a registered dietitian, you're a registered nurse, you're a physical therapist, you're a health and fitness expert. The number one thing you should be doing is selling online coaching, high ticket online coaching, which is what I did as a registered dietitian, as a business consultant for health and fitness entrepreneurs. Grow your earned income, maximize your earned income. Then when you have an accumulation of money in the bank, go invest into property. And if you need help growing your earned income, you're watching this, click the link in the description somewhere. Fill out the short form for my business coaching program. Love to talk to you about you and your goals and see if I can add value to you. But understand this, I'm not doing this as a get rich quick scheme. Real estate is a very slow way to get very, very wealthy. I know 10 years from now, this building will be worth a few million more than what I paid for it. That's why I'm doing it. Yes, it will cash flow a little bit after we stabilize and do everything. Yes, I plan to get my money out by doing a cash out refinance in a few years, but I'm not stopping the earned income. Understand that. That's how we do it. We built a business first. We don't go borrow the down payment. People ask that. They'll say, well, why can't I just go borrow the down payment and then borrow the 20% and then borrow the 80% from the lender? 99% of commercial lenders will not allow you to do that. When you go get a mortgage, especially a mortgage this size for a property this size, dude, they want to know everything about you. They want to know your liquidity. They want to know your net worth, your what's called your PFS, your personal financial statement. So if you're like, I'm worth nothing, I've built nothing, I've accomplished nothing, I'm putting no money into this deal, but you should definitely give me millions of dollars. Come on, think about it. Who's going to do that, right? Who's going to do that? Something else I want to touch on is someone might be like, well, why didn't you seller finance it, right? Because seller finance, right? And no money down and creative finance and all this, the stuff these people try to sell you on? Yeah, I asked. I said, hey, Mr. Seller, you have no debt on the property. This is like a unicorn property, right? Because it's very, very rare to find a property that size with no debt on it. I said, would you do seller finance? You know what he says? No, I want to be cash out so I can 1031 exchange into a bigger property. They're going into less management intensive. They're going to like retail space. So that's where seller finance. So like, see, if you didn't build a business, if you didn't have money, or if you couldn't go raise the money from friends, coworkers, colleagues, you lose out on this deal. So those are just things to understand. Build your business first, build your earned income first, or at least get a few people together who do have liquidity and net worth. Maybe you're the sweat equity partner. Maybe you're going to run the deal, get the down the deal, take care of the deal, but you got a couple partners who will bring in the capital. Cool. It's very hard just to find the seller financing.
Do you have any deals that were seller financed, Tony?
No. To be honest, I didn't even know what it was in the beginning, right? Next, what we're going to do is we're going to get bigger. We'll look to do syndication. So bring in partners and all that. Again, if you're interested in that, click the link in the description, fill out the invest with us form, right? For select people, that we'd partner with. No, I didn't even know what it was. And again, it's so hard to find, dude. You're looking for a needle in a needle of a haystack. It's already hard enough to find multifamily, let alone good multifamily. Now you're looking for good multifamily that has no debt that they'll allow seller financing. It's rare. I've only seen one deal offered with seller financing that I potentially looked at, but he wanted such an absurd price. It like just didn't make sense. And the interest rate he wanted was higher than what the banks were offering. So I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. So it's hard to find, That's what I mean. I think, Nick, people get so caught up with like, I want to just quit my job, live on a beach and own real estate. First off, if you own real estate, you're probably gonna have to manage the real estate if you want it to perform the best, right? So you're not gonna be sitting on a beach somewhere.
So Tony, we've talked a lot that right now is kind of a bad market. Aren't rates super high? Is this really the best time to buy this 56 unit?
Dude, great question. Thank you for asking that, Nick. Well, here's the way I look at it. I'm a long-term buy and hold investor. And I believe time in the market beats timing the market, meaning I want to invest. I'm 33. I want to realistically probably be buying for the next 30 years. Then I'll probably stop and just live off distributions of our portfolio, right? Dude, I've got crazy dreams and goals. I could even see myself, if I keep accumulating it this way, I might be able to just sell as a REIT, like a real estate investment trust. I might be able to go to Wall Street and be like, dude, I've got 2,000 units in my family name here, 1,000 units, whatever. Buy me out, Wall Street, who knows, right? But I'm going to be buying for a long time. So the way I look at it like this is two things. Number one, my rate's going to be above 7 here, which is high. Most of my portfolio is at 3 and 4%. So is it high? Yes. Do I love the property? Yes. Do I trust the property? Yes. Do I trust my numbers and our business plan on the property? Yes. When you trust the asset, you don't fear the debt. Okay. I don't fear the debt because I know my numbers work. I'm buying it at the right price to make these numbers work. And 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, it'll be trivial, the amount of interest I paid. Also, too, when I look to refinance, so it's 2023, almost the end of 2023, so maybe 2024, 2025, they are predicting, no one has a crystal ball, but they are predicting rates to come down. So when I finish my business plan, I say my NOI is way higher, guys. I've made the property worth X amount more money. I want to refinance. I could even be looking at coming into a lower interest rate. So if the numbers work today at 7%, I'm going to look like a freaking genius if rates come back down to 6%. Well, what if rates don't come down and then you know what? I'm good. I just hold on because I know there's value to create here. Also, too, this deal, so it was off market, but the broker tried going after it a couple other times because the person who owns this, he's actually done other deals with, right? So this is actually the last piece of their portfolio, their multifamily portfolio that they're selling off. It was under contract during 2021 for, guess how much more than what I'm paying?
2021, shoot, I don't know, at least another $500,000.
Almost $1 million more.
Wow.
And they didn't take it because rates were so low. When rates are lower, you can pay more. There's like that inverse, right? As rates are lower, prices go up. As rates come up a little bit, prices come down. So I was able to negotiate some concessions. I was able to negotiate a price that wouldn't be available. So kind of would have evened out. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not super upset or concerned about the higher interest rate because I'm getting it for a lower price than it was potentially going to sell for before. So I love that.
How quickly can you refinance after you buy the property?
Great question. Depending on the lender. So we go through like community banks, so like local credit unions and all that. They usually want to see 1 year, what's called a seasoning period. So 1 year and a full year of tax return, like a full year tax return, because it's its own business. So you file your own tax return for the property. They want to be able to see the NOI based off of that tax return that you've improved it. So minimum 1 year. Now there are definitely like bridge lenders who have like way higher interest rates, maybe be able to do it sooner. I go through credit unions. I do 5-year terms. So I'm getting a 5-year term on this. I'm getting 2 years interest only too, which is huge, which allows me to put the money back into the property and I'm not paying down the principal. I'm just paying interest only. So I have more cash flow to work with to improve the units even faster. So my goal is potentially to have it done by 2025. That means we take all of 2024, run through our entire business plan. You guys know this from watching my other videos, right? And we're going to do a lot of hey guys, if you want to see us go on site and do this property, have Nick bring the drone and get all the inside footage, comment below, leave a comment on this video or this podcast, let us know. We'll go do a property tour. But we're going to increase the income, decrease the expenses, increase the NOI. So I can go back in 2025, let's say, and hopefully rates are lower and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Lender, check this out. Property's worth so much more money. Even if rates are the same, doesn't matter. Property's worth more money. It's still advantageous to do a cash out refinance. And that's like our business plan. It's the BRRRR method. Buy, rehab or renovate, rent it out, refinance, repeat. Refinance, take your money out, all of your money, 75% of your money, 90% of your money, whatever you can get. Repeat the process.
How are you figuring out how much this building is worth?
Okay, so let's talk about how to figure out what the building's worth. First, what it could be worth. So we'll do this example again. So I'm just going to use arbitrary figures here, okay? Let's say the in-place NOI, net operating income, is $300,000. And let's say, again, arbitrary, the property appraised at a 6% cap rate. NOI divided by cap rate equals our valuation. So 300,000 divided by 0.06 equals $5 million valuation. Now, let's say in my business plan, I know I can increase my NOI to 420,000 in the next 2 years. How do we do that? By improving units, increasing the market rent, lowering expenses. It's a big thing. Again, we're going to do an episode on keys of like property management operations. Big thing my wife is able to do as the head of the property management business is lower the expenses, man. Shopping the vendors and biggest thing, like reducing all the utilities and bills and all that good stuff. So let's say we bring the NOI to 420,000 in 2 years, still at a 6% cap rate divided by 0.06, $7 million. That's how it's done. That's why I bought this deal. These numbers are arbitrary numbers, but they're close to the actual numbers of what we feel is feasible here. There is that big of an NOI jump on play here. And even if it took an extra year to get there, so 2025, who cares, right? Remember, long-term investors here, long-term buy and hold investors, but that's the wealth creation. I know for every $1 I can increase the cap rate, it goes $1 divided by cap rate equals valuation increase. So $1 divided by 0.06 is worth $16 in valuation. So if I can increase the income by $1 or reduce the expenses by $1, it's worth $16 in valuation for a multifamily building. That is how you build wealth. It is compounded. It is a multiple effect. It's not just $1 equals $1. It's $1 equals $16. So the devil's in the details, and details destroy businesses. And that's why we are so big on this deal and so big on multifamily in general, because if you can just figure out, it's not rocket science, guys. Not rocket science. You can figure out how to increase the income, reduce the expenses, you can build wealth. All right. So the last thing to wrap up here is operations. As we've said, the money is made in operations. So here are some of the key things we're going to do as we take over this property. And again, if you want to go to the property with us and see the property, do a property tour, make sure you leave some comments, show some love on this video, and we'll go out and create that video for you guys. Okay. So first thing is deferred maintenance. Believe it or not, the number one reason people leave a multifamily asset, leave a multifamily apartment, like move out, isn't price increase, isn't location, it isn't loud music or anything. It's deferred maintenance. That's not corrected. So as we go through and introduce ourselves to all of the tenants, we say, hey, is there any deferred maintenance in your unit that hasn't been taken care of? We try to within a reasonable. If they're like, nah, yeah, I want a big screen TV put in here. Okay, we can't do that. But like, hey, my air conditioner never's been fixed. We fix those things. So they see that we are taking over. We are here to take care of them and take care of the property, which boosts renewals. You make your money in multifamily by keeping the heads in the beds on your renewals, right? Because when people move out, you have to now incur vacancy, commission to fill the unit, and unit turns. Unit turns could be anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 depending on that. By keeping the heads in the beds, by keeping renewals in place, you increase your NOI. So that's the first thing we do. Number two, unit upgrades. We'll probably do floors, paint, appliances as needed. I'm probably budgeting about $3,000 per unit here, okay? Because they've been taken care of, which is huge. And no deferred maintenance, flooring, paint, things like that, appliances, especially if you buy in bulk, they're not super expensive. So we'll do that. But also too, exterior. When people are like we said, there's a lot of drive-by traffic on this community here. So our plan is to paint the exterior, do new signage, rename the property, new fresh signage, new fresh paint, new fresh landscape. So it signals to the community change is occurring. It has looked the same way for 30 years. You have to come in and start. We've learned to start with the exterior first to signal to the community change is occurring here. 99.9% sure I'm going to rename and put my last name on it. So like literally put my family's name on a building. Like think about if you could do that for your family, and you can. If we're doing it, you can do it. Put your last name on a building and give that to your kids or your kids' kids, whatever. Like that's generational wealth. That's legacy wealth. Crypto, stocks, those are cool, but real estate, multifamily real estate specifically is generational wealth. And that's why I'm so excited about this apartment too, is this is something potentially my kids could inherit one day. And that transfers the wealth and the work and the assets to the next generation. Okay, guys, so that is the business plan on the 56 unit. That's the new deal we've acquired here. Kind of try to break it down, why I love it. I try to give you guys some high-level details of what we're going to do as owners and operators and why we've invested our hard-earned money into this deal so you can learn to do the same. And again, don't be discouraged if you can't go out and get a 56 unit. Even if you start with a house or a duplex or a quadplex, as long as you start is what matters. Now, I want to give you some more help. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below, hit the share. If you want to see the actual site tour and property tour, let us know, leave a comment below. But I have a couple free gifts for you. Number one, click the link below, get my free book. My book that sells for $19 on Amazon, New Rules to Financial Freedom. Explain more about this real estate investing and how I built my first business, all in that. Sells for $19 on Amazon. It's yours for free. Click the link below. Also have my real estate masterclass that you can go get for free as well. That was a $3,000 live event that we filmed. It's yours for free. But if you want to partner with us, we're going to be buying bigger deals, 80, 100, 120 unit deals. And if you're like, damn, Tony, I want to do this. I want to be on a bigger deal. But you know what? I'm a busy entrepreneur. I'm a physician. I'm a nurse. I'm a mother, but I'm just too busy doing this. But I've got the capital to put into real estate. Fill out the invest with us form in the description here in this video or podcast, wherever you're watching or listening. And potentially you can partner with us on a bigger deal. We go out, get the deal. We get the debt. We do the management, and you just get the mailbox money on the side. So if you're interested in that, click below, learn more. Thank you so much for being here. To your success. We'll talk soon.